Unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live and save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Russian authorities have imposed restrictions on Apple's video calling service FaceTime, alleging it's being used for terrorist activities.
The announcement marks another step in Russia's ongoing effort to control internet and online communications. In recent years, Russia has adopted restrictive laws and blocked non-compliant websites and platforms. Following the 2022 invasion of Ukraine, the government blocked major social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Access to YouTube has also been disrupted. Rich Thomason reporting.
FIFA gives its new Peace Prize to President Trump. It's an unusual break from tradition for the sports-focused soccer organization. The ceremony happened Friday during the 2026 World Cup draw at the Kennedy Center. News and analysis at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters.
Do you crave growth for your business? That's where The Point comes in. Fran Halloran here. Kevin Cohen and the other local hosts like me have worked to create a space where listeners transform into family. Are you a local business aiming for the stars? You need to get with Kevin and let him help create an individualized blueprint for your growth using the influential stage of The Point Radio. Reach out directly at 563-8558. Teaming with The Point, make this year extraordinary.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com.
It's Friday night in South Carolina, and that means high school football across the Palmetto State. Welcome to the Founders Federal High School Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. We'll bring you scores and reports from every region of the state with expert analysis from David Shelton and interviews with coaches throughout the night. The High School Scoreboard is proudly brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now, from the Scoreboard Studios in Columbia, here's your host, Phil Kornbluth.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the High School Football Scoreboard across the state here on the Sports Talk Media Network, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Well, we began the state championships today with a fight, and we're ending it with a beatdown. Kind of sums up the day. Had a little brawl at the end of the first game of the day, and then this last game of the night, Northwestern and Irmo. It was so lopsided at halftime that because of the rules, they have a nonstop clock in the second half, a running clock in the second half. You don't ever see that, hardly ever see that. I can't recall seeing that in a state championship game. Just under 3 minutes to play, Northwestern 55, Irmo 13. Don't think we saw that coming in looking ahead to this game because these two teams played a great game last year in the state championship game. Both teams are laden with major college players, but it was all Northwestern tonight. They're going to win. For the first time in their history, they're going to go back-to-back with state championships. So quite a night for Northwestern, the city of Rock Hill, celebrating another state championship. They'll have a chance tomorrow with South Point to do it again. Not that the fans of Northwestern are rooting for South Point and vice versa. Don't know how it is up there at Football City. Maybe they are. Maybe they only dislike each other on the field. So that is the game that's about to wrap up. The previous game was the best game of the day. Bamberg Earhart defeated Lamar 35-21. It was 14-13 at halftime. Bamberg Earhart, a couple of rushing touchdowns by their quarterback, Brian McMillan, in the third quarter. That opened it up, and they win at 35-21. Their first state championship since 1990, the second in the history of Bamberg Earhart, though Bamberg High School, before it became Bamberg Earhart, also won a state championship. But I guess historically for BE, it counts as number 2 and the first since 1990. First game of the day, Oceanside Collegiate over Belton Honeypath. It was 28-0. BHP scored late. Final score 28-7. There were some fisticuffs after the game, about a 8 to 10 minute scuffle on the field along the BHP sideline. Some ugly stuff. A lot of video of that making the rounds. You can no doubt check that out. We've got it up on our website, sportstalksc.com. No doubt there'll be some punishment, some penalties to be served for those who return next year to their respective schools. Don't know that either side will walk away unscathed from that. So that is what we've had so far today. Let's welcome in the man, the myth, the mystery, David Shelton of the High School Sports Report and the Charleston Post and Courier, simply known in these parts as Best in Business. We call him Bib. Welcome in, David. How are you?
I'm okay, Phil.
So let's just summarize the night to begin with, then we'll go into particulars. I know you've sat back and watched everything, every snap, every moment today. Just overall thoughts on the day from you.
Well, for one thing, I'm very, very happy that Northwestern's punter got a chance to appear in the state championship game. With 2:24, he just punted. And so, I mean, I was sitting here thinking in the third quarter, I was like, what must the punter be thinking right now? He'd be like, Coach, can I go line up at receiver or something? I mean, my mom's got to take a picture. But he got in the game, so good for him. But in all seriousness, it's kind of went, like most people thought, except this game. I don't think anybody projected a running clock in this game. I mean, there's just no way. But Northwestern, man, if anybody has played better in a state championship game than what they played tonight, with a defensive touchdown, a special teams touchdown, six or seven offensive touchdowns. They just, like I just said, they just now punted with 2 minutes to go in the game. I mean, it was complete domination. I mean, Irmo made it 14-6 late in the first quarter, and then it was just they couldn't stop Northwestern. I mean, no matter what. So I think Northwestern, I think they came in. I think Paige Wofford brought his team in to make a statement, and I think they made a great statement.
An exclamation point at the end of that statement with a whipping like this over. This is a very, very good Irmo team. I mean, they have a roster full of major college players who will be back next year as well, so they figure to be right back in the mix next year. But this has really got to sting these guys, no pun intended for the Yellow Jackets. It's really got to sting for them that that they have been beaten this badly by a team they played so close last year and lost at the very end of the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, Irmo lost one game, and they played Dutch Fork, to the very end, and lost that game. But I'm just saying, nobody. I mean, even Paige Wofford could not honestly and seriously say, "Oh yeah, I expected to come in and win by 42 points." I just think what they did tonight. You talk about guys coming back. If you were watching the Northwestern quarterback as a junior, and he is going to be a big time prospect. He's a little on the thin side, but man, he can run and he can throw. He makes good decisions. And in Paige Wofford's offense, that air raid, it's just set up for him to put up big numbers. And the guy did tonight. I mean, they got some senior receivers that they're going to have to replace. And they got a couple of guys on defense. Cannon that's going to the Shrine Bowl, Watkins that's going to Texas A&M, and also the Shrine Bowl. I mean, they got some holes to fill, but the quarterback's coming back, so that's good for them.
Mm-hmm. It's gone final, 55-13 Northwestern with the victory. And as I mentioned, first time they've gone back-to-back to win state championships. They've won multiple state championships, but they've never gone back-to-back and defended. So that's another feather in their cap with this win tonight over Irmo. And what is it? I mean, of course, we can talk about this current rendition of Northwestern, but you got to go back years and years and look at the foundation that was built by Jimmy Wallace for so many years. Now, there was a period of time after he retired. I think they had a little bit of difficulty of maybe finding the right mix there at head coach. I think they went through maybe a couple of head coaches before Page took the job, but Jimmy Wallace, set the foundation, I guess, for the current edition, the current version of this Northwestern program, and they've just now Page is just kind of taking it to another level.
Yeah, well, I mean, you remember after Wallace was Kyle Richardson, who's now coaching at Clemson, and he won a state title, and I think they lost in the finals and they won one. But he went through those quarterbacks of Justin Worley and Mason Rudolph.
Forgot about him. They went from, I got it right here, they went from Kyle when he left to go to Clemson. They were 14-1, won the state championship. Then David Pierce replaced him, went 9-2, didn't win a state championship. And then he was replaced during the next season by James Martin. And then Martin was the head coach in 2018 and went 4-7. And Page came in, went 2-8. And then during the COVID year, went 7-1. And since then, he's won 11, 13, 11, 14, and now, I guess, 13 this year with this win tonight.
Yeah, and I think, I might be wrong, but I think his defensive coordinator is David Pierce. I think Coach Pierce is still on the staff. If he's not, he was. I'm pretty sure he was last year, but I think I was talking to Paige earlier this year. He was talking about the defense, and he said, Coach David Pierce, who was the head coach here, has done a great job with our defense. And, so and I think Pierce was with Kyle, and I think he might have been with Wallace. I mean, he's a veteran guy. He's been around a while. But, I think what Page has done now, he's created a monster. And the expectations will be this every year. But his expectations are this. I mean, he is a winner, and he knows offense, and he does a great job with those kids. And I won't predict a third in a row, but they're going to be dang good.
All right, let's give you some of the numbers from this game. Just finishing up, 55-13, Northwestern over Irmo. And obviously the numbers are going to be one-sided for the Trojans. 360 yards. They only needed 47 plays. 269 yards for Irmo. Northwestern averaged 7.7 yards per play. Had a couple of interceptions. They were penalized 9 times. They were 5 of 7 on third down. You mentioned the quarterback, Xavier Means. 14 of 17, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rushing, Nigel Smith, 13 carries, 104 yards. Means, 10 carries for 60. And David Flood caught 6 for 92. Cam Vance caught 5 for 67. Irmo, quarterback Drayvon Thompson was 12 of 26, 124 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks. Amir White, 14 carries, 102 yards. Dobson, 6 carries for 35. Malik Miller caught 6 for 64. So you mentioned the quarterback returning for Northwestern, gives them a nice starting place. Irmo's quarterback, I believe, returns, does he not, Dobson? I think he is back. And I think the running back, White, is back. And I know Miller is back as well. And they've got, of course, Bryant, the defensive end, and Carson, the offensive lineman. They've got good players returning for next year. I would imagine they're going to be right in the hunt once again.
Yeah, I don't have any doubt. I mean, I think what Coach Aaron Brand has established there is, again, the expectation that they're going to be deep in the playoffs. And I think, tonight was a bad night. Tonight was a tough night. And if you stay in the coaching business long enough, you're going to get nights like this. But they'll be back, and they just got behind the 8 ball early, and I mean they lost to a team that was better than they were. I mean, you don't beat somebody by 42 points and then try to convince people that watched it that we're as good as they are. Tonight they were not. Tomorrow, if they played, maybe, but tonight they were not. They were not at the level.
All right, 5A Division II championship goes to Northwestern. Back up I-77 to Rock Hill with the trophy, 55-13. We've got Chris Deering down on the field and Lou Bajak down on the field as well, and they'll be coming back up top here at the press box, and they'll be joining us in a little bit once they get some of their work completed. In the meantime, we'll hit the break, and we'll come back and talk about the other 2 games from earlier today. We'll look ahead to the games from for the games for tomorrow, the 3 games we played here tomorrow. And we have Coach Scott Early joining us at 11:05. We'll be talking about next week's Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Bowl at Myrtle Beach. That's why the weather's bad here this weekend, because it's going to be great next week at the beach. And we'll be right back.
Football season is upon us, and that means Columbia is welcoming fans from around the corner and across the country. No matter where you're from, Gamecocks love coming together for game day energy that can only be found in South Carolina's capital city. Book hotel rooms, find pre- and post-game activities, and plan your tailgate spread with local favorites from pimento cheese to barbecue at ExperienceColumbiaSC.com. We'll see you soon, and go Gamecocks!
The holiday shopping season is here. Get ahead of the crowd by shopping early and shopping smart with Founders Federal Credit Union. Now through December 31st, take advantage of 5.99% APR on select purchases made with your Founders credit card. Whether you're picking up the hottest toys for the kids or finally grabbing that item you've had your eye on, this offer makes it easier to spend holiday cheer without stretching your budget. Founders is here to help you make the most of the season with smart spending and flexible options. Treat your family and yourself. Save more and make this holiday season one to remember. Visit foundersfcu.com/cc for more information. Membership qualification required. Promotional rate ends July 1st, 2026. Effective APR of 13% to 17.9% will apply. See website for details.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at sccattle.org. Beef, it's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff program. Touchstone Energy cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
Okay, we're back. It's the High School Football Scoreboard brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. I want to thank Founders for their support all football season long. Great people. They love their sports in South Carolina. They support a lot of different ventures. Glad to have them as partners with us here at the Sports Talk Media Network. David Shelton is with us as well. Let's go to the middle game of the day. David, that was Bamberg-Ehrhardt beating Lamar 35-21, first state championship for Bamberg-Ehrhardt, the Red Raiders, since 1990. The second in their history, though, if you go back to when they were just Bamberg High School, they won a state championship. I think the coach was Dick Weldon back then. So the community, that area, can claim 3, but I guess Bamberg-Ehrhardt itself can claim 2. How do you look at that? Do you give them credit for the Bamberg championship as well, or just the 2 under Bamberg-Ehrhardt?
I would give them credit. They've also been the runner-up like 10 times. Like they've been to a lot of championship games, but they got it done today. They looked really impressive, and I said on Sports Talk earlier that I thought they were the only undefeated team in South Carolina, and I hadn't disconnected off the call 10 seconds and got a text that WW King Academy went undefeated in 8-man football. Okay. So there's 2 of them.
Okay. Well, you got to play. Well, no, I don't want to say it. I shouldn't say you got to play 11. I guess you can play 8 and have fun.
Well, we'll say Bamberg is the only 11-man team undefeated.
Yeah, only 11-man team. So in this one, it was Lamar scoring first. They went up 7-0, and they did so. Their quarterback, Zori Pierce, had a 2-yard run. It was 7-0. Stayed that way to early second quarter. Rakeem Walker, a 79-yard pass for a touchdown. Extra point was good. That made it a 7-7 game. And then about 3 minutes later, Jalen McGraw, their fine Shrine Bowl running back, 9-yard touchdown run, and that made it 14-7. Then you had a touchdown again by Pierce, a 2-yard run. The extra point failed. It made it 14-13 at the half, and it looked like we were going to have an exciting game in the second half, but then the Red Raiders put 3 straight touchdowns together. Brian McMillan, 20-yard rush. That made it 21-13. That was early in the third. 6:12 to go in the third. McMillan again, 13 yards. That made it 28-13. And then 7:22 to go in the fourth. It's Charles Williams, 27-yard pass for a touchdown. And that made it 35-13. And Lamar scored with 3:17 to go. 15-yard pass play to Morris, and that made it 35-21. So that is how that one played out. And Bamberg-Ehrhardt gets the win. The coach is Corey Crosby. The Crosbys have a long history over the last 20 years or so. His brother was the head coach at one point and did a great job. His nephew, K.C. Crosby, was one of their star players, wanted to play at South Carolina. But it's Corey Crosby who got the chance to raise the plaque, taking the championship trophy home back to Bamberg-Ehrhardt. Here's what he had to say moments after the win.
It feels good, man. I told our guys, we just gotta keep trusting the process, and they did. You know, the first half we didn't play great, but man, we wanted this for our town. Man, our town deserved this, man. And I told them, man, it might be us to bring it home. And they believed that in the locker room in the second half, and that's what they did, man. But I'm proud of these kids, man. But this ain't my team; it's God's team. I told our team that in the beginning of the year. You know, so that's what we done. You know,
what makes this team so special?
Man, I don't know, man. They've been playing together like a brotherhood. They don't really care who make the play. They just want to make the play, and that's what they believe in. But they've been together for a long time, and they trust the process. But man, these kids special, man. I got a great group of kids, and our receivers, our skilled kids, so athletic. I mean, I just don't think nobody one they could hold them.
Corey, you're 15-0, the only team in the state of South Carolina undefeated, 760-plus points on offense, defense 136, good on both sides of the ball. What made this team a little special?
Man, they trust in the process. They brought it in this summer, and they believe they want to get back to doing Red Raider football, and that's what they did, man. They took pride in buying into the system because last year we didn't play like a team, and this year it was all about the team, and them kids just brought in that, man. That's why we're 15-0 right now.
Quarterback McMillan, what has he meant to this program?
Man, that kid's special, man. He's probably one of the best quarterbacks in the state. This kid, I mean, he's outstanding, man. He just keep plays moving, and he trusts the system. He's not trying to do anything that he don't supposed to do, but he's great, man. That kid good.
All right, Coach Corey Crosby. So, and that was Billy Baker who said the same thing. I guess he wasn't aware of King doing their thing. Yeah. So, they were 9-3 last year. 12-2 the year before, and 9-3 before that, all under Corey. Of course, they were very good under Robert Williams. They were very good under Kevin Crosby. I mean, they've won a lot of region championships, but now they're back on top of the mountain.
Yeah, I mean, it just all fell into place, and you know, I had my doubts because I thought their early season schedule was just too easy, and they beat Barnwell by 2 touchdowns. You know, Barnwell was a little bit down this year, but then they just kept scoring a lot of points, and they won games. And Cross last week had them beat, and they put together a drive that was a season changer, and they scored late to go up and win the game. But I mean, Cross was in control of that game, and I think they proved a lot when they won that game.
All right, hang on. We'll talk more about Bamberg when we come back, and also talk about that Oceanside Collegiate deal back after the break.
Hi, I'm Tazima. Join me every Saturday at 11 a.m. for Small Business Saturday. We'll celebrate business owners in our community while learning their stories of success and failure. It's Small Business Saturday right here at 100.7 The Point.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did. And just maybe, someone else will be happy too. Go to organdonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
You love them enough to do anything for them.
Mom, I need to be wiped. Coming.
Including checking NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
HBO Max and others, the $72 billion deal announced earlier today would bring together 2 of the biggest players in television and film and potentially reshape the entertainment industry. This is SRN News.
If you are 65 or older, you know this. Inflation is hitting everyone hard right now, especially when it comes to health care. Over the last 10 years, healthcare costs have skyrocketed by, get this, 230%. If you have Medicare Parts A and B, you know there are still out-of-pocket expenses like deductibles and co-payments, and they really add up. But here's some good news. MediShare 65 Plus is designed to fill in those gaps and help protect you from rising healthcare costs. At only $99 per month up to age 75, you get peace of mind at a price you can afford. And MediShare is trusted, too. It's been around 30 years. It's not some big impersonal thing. It's a community of people helping each other, business owners, pastors, retirees. People love it. MediShare 65 Plus.
Hello, this is Stacy Huff, host of Huff Nation Sports Zone, each and every Saturday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here on 100.7 FM, The Point, and also 1470 a.m. It'll be a fun trip around the world of sports. Huff Nation Sports Zone, check it out.
Want to hear my success story? I'm Fran Halloran, the money coach. I'm celebrating a decade of partnering with The Point. It's one of the best decisions I ever made. I've used The Point to significantly grow my small business. It started with a meeting with Kevin Cohen. Do you own a small business? Are you on a limited budget? No problem. Reach out to Kev at 563-8558. Get a customized plan and start your journey to business growth with The Point today. Success is one call away. Take the leap.
This Panther Update is brought to you by UNC Charlotte.
With 4 games to go in the regular season, the Panthers will need as many hands on deck as possible to make a final push for the postseason. One of the key contributors is running back Chuba Hubbard, who is finally feeling back to himself after an early season injury. I'm Jim Zoki with a Panthers Update after this.
Charlotte's momentum has a name, UNC Charlotte, 32,000 students strong, ranked among the nation's top 75 public universities, recognized at the highest level for research, unmatched access to Fortune 500 companies, built for a top-tier city. This isn't typical higher ed. The difference is scale. The difference is momentum. The difference is Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
Running back Chuba Hubbard had a career season in 2024 with just under 1,200 rushing yards, 43 receptions, and 11 total touchdowns, despite missing the final 2 games. This season, he missed a couple of games early with a calf injury. That allowed newly acquired running back Rico Dowdle to step up and put out a pair of 200-yard rushing performances as the lead back. Now, both backs are healthy and had a nearly even split in carries in the last win over the Rams. Hubbard had 83 yards rushing versus L.A., says he now feels like he is back to full health.
I feel where I'm like 30%, 40%, but I just told myself if I can play football, no matter how that is, I'm going to go out there and do that. So that's kind of my thought process when it came to that. Last week was probably my first time feeling like kind of myself again. Able to get the ball a couple of times, and this week I'm starting to feel good as well. So just going to keep trying to get back to 100% and getting back to me.
This season, Chuba Hubbard's got 433 yards rushing along with a touchdown and 23 receptions with 3 touchdowns. I'm Jim Zoki on the Carolina Panthers Radio Network.
This Panther Update has been brought to you by UNC Charlotte, ranked among the nation's top 75 public universities. The difference is Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
Tonight, we got time for some text message responses. We see some messages on our YouTube feed. If you want to comment at us there, feel free, or send us a text message, 803-900-4847, 803-900-4847. Of course, related to the high school football scene here tonight and tomorrow. And we'll address those text messages if you want to send them to us. So, David Shelton with us, waiting on the other guys to join us here once they finish up. So let's go back to a little bit more on this Bamberg Earhart Lamar, 35-21. What about Lamar? I mean, this was a close game, 14-13 at the half, and then they were stymied for most of the second half till they scored late. But what about this Lamar team? I mean, year in, year out, you can pretty much count on Lamar, Lakeview, Carver's Bay, down in that area, down in those regions. You can count on one, if not both of those, advancing deep in the playoffs. This year it was Lamar's turn.
Yeah, and Lamar's done it with several different coaches. Corey Fountain won a state championship in 17, and he's now at Clinton. The guy that was there last year, Burris, went to Westwood, but he had a good year last year. Tyler Boyd is a former player and a graduate, and he's going to do fine. They're always going to be competitive I don't, they may not be state championship contenders, but they're always going to be competitive. They love football there in Lamar. Lamar beat Louisville last week handily, and Louisville is the team that knocked Abbeville out of the playoffs. So, it's not like they snuck their way in. They deserve to be there. They just ran into Bamberg was really, really solid. But Lamar, Lamar's got to replace that quarterback, who's also a safety. And he missed some time today. He got a little banged up, and when he went out, they just went stagnant. But they'll be back. I mean, they may not be back next year. We'll see what realignment does and where they end up and all that kind of stuff. But they're a quality Class A football program.
So it's Bamberg Earhart winning 35-21. I don't think I went through the numbers. Did I go through the numbers? I don't think I went through the numbers. So
no, you did not.
Lamar ran 61 plays, had 316 yards, averaged 5.2. But Bamberg had 55 plays, 420 yards, averaged 7.6. 275 passing, 145 rushing. And both teams penalized 9 times. 8 of 12 on third down for Bamberg. So they held on to the football. Brian McMillan, their quarterback, boy, he's good. 16 of 23 for 275 and 2 touchdowns. And he also ran for 49 yards and 2 touchdowns. I was talking to the broadcast crew prior to the game, and they were telling me, for so long, Bamberg Earhart's been a running-oriented team, grind it out. But McMillan's come along, and I think they told me he's thrown for over 4,000 yards this season, and he displayed that today.
Yeah, they kind of started trending towards a passing attack a couple of years ago. They brought in a new coordinator. Crosby's son was actually a quarterback, and they started kind of throwing it more. Still known as a power running team, but this year it was all bets were off. They had several good receivers that we saw today, and McMillan throws it spot on. I mean, he made a couple of really nice deep throws, which you don't see a whole lot in high school.
What is his future? Is he back? Did you say he's back or not?
Yeah, he's a junior.
He's a junior. So got a chance to be – you think he's got a chance to be something special on the next level? Can he get to the next level?
He'll play in college. I don't know if he'll be I don't know if he'll be a Power 4 guy or whatever, but oh yeah, he'll get an opportunity to play somewhere in college.
All right. Let's see. For Lamar, Pierce was 16 of 28, 169, and he rushed for 99 yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw for a touchdown, so he accounted for all 3 of their touchdowns. And you say he's a very good safety. Is he going on to the next level? Did he do anything Wednesday? You know?
I don't think he did, but he is in the Shrine Bowl.
Yeah.
So he may be a February signing.
Okay. Someone to keep an eye on. Nigel Eady, he rushed for 74 yards for Lamar. One thing about Lamar, year after year after year, they turn out good teams, and every so often they create that special player who goes to major college and on to the NFL. How many NFL players have come out of that small town? So, we're talking Shrine Bowl type. I'm not Shrine Bowl. We're talking Hall of Fame type players.
Yeah, I think five have played in the NFL in recent years. Well, I know Kirkland and Abraham, obviously, and then Michael Hamlin played in the NFL some, and who's the guy that's playing right now? Went to state.
Well, you had B.J. Goodson. He played.
Oh yeah, and Kobe Durant. That's the guy I'm thinking of.
Yeah, what a program. If I'm not mistaken, I know John Abraham did not play in the Shrine Bowl because I remember covering him at the what was then the North-South game. Did Levon play in the Shrine Bowl, or did he go north-south? Why am I?
Levon Kirkland went to the north-south.
He played the north-south also.
Yeah, him and Ed McDaniel.
I knew
from
McDaniel
Batesburg.
did. Yeah. What was the Shrine Bowl coaches thinking back then?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, crazy,
But-
man.
but-
How
But Danny
good was?
Ford sure got it right.
Well, I mean, Clyde Wren will tell you the story about Ed McDaniel. I think it was Ed McDaniel that he was at the north, working for Clemson. He was at the north-south, and he watches Ed McDaniel practice. And he calls up Danny. They hadn't offered him, and he called up Ford and said, "Hey, I got this guy down here, and I'm going to offer him." And Ford's like, "No." And he goes, "Yeah, I'm going to offer him. We got to take him. We got to have him." And the rest is history. That was the keen eye that Clyde Wren had at that time. All right, Chris Deering from the Prep Red Zone has popped up, and Lou will be joining us a little bit later on once he finishes up his duties. So let's bring Chris on board here as soon as I get my wires straightened out and figure out which one is for him. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Okay, of course I guessed wrong. I was thinking it was that one, and it is this one. How about that, sir?
How about test? Can you hear me now?
That's good. So you just made it back upstairs. We'll hear from the Northwestern folks in a moment. But, boy, what was the mood like down there after this one? Were they as celebratory as after winning it last year, or a little more subdued this year? What was their feeling?
No, I think it was a good celebration. This is their 7th state title in program history, but first time they've ever gone back-to-back. So good win for them and Paige Walford up there. And, he had to replace his quarterback from last year. He had to replace a lot of pieces, but he was able to come back and win it again.
Mm-hmm. And stand by. Mr. Stupid's got the wrong headset turned up, even though we could hear you fine because the other headset's near you. Now we got you, right? Yeah. No, I'm not. Well, why am I not hearing you on that headset? Put on the other one if you would, sir. For some reason, we're not getting you on that one, but I could pick you up loud and clear on that one, though. It was, I'll fix it in a second. Go ahead and pull it down. There you go. Can you hear me okay?
How about now?
Much better.
I hear you much better.
Yeah. Much better. So you were saying about Northwestern. Go ahead again with that.
Yeah, they had a really good celebration after the game. They've got 7 state titles in program history, but first time they've ever gone back-to-back. So Paige Walford, he had to replace a lot of pieces from last year, had a brand-new quarterback who came in and ran that air raid that they like to run very well. And, there was a big celebration down there at the end of the game.
We'll hear from him in a moment, but he say much about, was he surprised at the way this game turned out?
Yeah, he said if anybody would have told him it would have been 49-6 at halftime, he'd have asked him what they were smoking.
Yeah.
He was very surprised at the outcome. He talked about how talented that Irmo defensive front is. And he gave kudos to his offensive line. They played really well. They protected Xavier Means and didn't let him get hit that much. And then, to get a defensive touchdown, a special teams touchdown, I think 5 turnovers, that's a recipe for success right there.
So, I mean, you're a guy that covers Midlands quite a bit. You've seen a lot of Irmo. This obviously had to be their worst performance of the season.
Yeah, by far. I mean, they struggled in that Dutch Fork game early, but they did come back and make that one close. And I'll be honest, I did not think anybody could do that to that Irmo defensive line. They probably got 4 guys that could play on Saturdays on that front, and I thought the Northwestern offensive front did a really good job against them. So I think that's where it started, and then they made some plays, like I said, in the secondary and on defense, on special teams, and it just, sometimes things just snowball, and that's what happened tonight.
Did you get a chance to talk to Coach Brand?
I did not go over and talk to Coach Brand afterwards. I stayed on the Northwestern side. Little known fact, and I'm going to throw this out there. Paige Walford's dad was one of my high school football coaches.
Really?
Yeah. So,
that's right, because they're low country people.
Yeah. So known that family for a long time. I remember Paige running around the practice field as a little kid, and so I've known him for a long time. And so I stood over there and spoke to him for a little bit off record.
Is he going to cut that hair?
No, that's never going to happen.
Never going to happen. I mean, that's
it's the mullet, man. You got to keep it.
David, what do you have for Chris?
What do I need to have?
A question.
I don't have any questions for Chris. He just covers the whole gamut. I mean, we don't need to even talk anymore.
Don't say that.
He just covered everything.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about we're to the point where we're talking about Paige Wofford's hair.
Well, I didn't know if the hair, if the hair was like a, it was he was going to keep the hair until he won the championship again, or that's him. The hair is him. He wears that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking between your hair, my hair, and Chris Deering's hair, and Lou's hair. We don't have any hair.
No, we don't.
We can't match that, David. You're right.
That guy's got enough for all of us.
This is true. He could take his mullet and share it amongst all of us, and we'll look like we have the Beatles hairstyle going compared to what we got going now. All right, let's go to the break, and when we'll come back, we'll hear from the head coach of Northwestern, Paige Wofford. Another championship, like Chris pointed out, back-to-back, first time in the school history. I think I was counting. I think this is the 9th overall for them. Did I count that right?
Seventh.
Yeah, seventh. Okay. Well, I didn't count it right, or maybe I counted it right, just didn't remember it right.
Math
Seventh.
is hard. Math is hard.
Very hard from where I come from. Very hard. Okay, we'll be back. We'll hear from the coach and more. Don't go away.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
Avoiding excess financial stress from the holidays doesn't take a Christmas miracle. All it takes is a Christmas loan from Founders Federal Credit Union. Our Christmas loan is designed to ease your Yuletide expenses and help you relax so you can focus on what matters most, spreading joy and love. With our great rates and flexible repayment options, unexpected expenses like decorating, last-minute gifts, or holiday travel accommodations won't break your budget. Plus, you'll get exceptional service that'll make you want to sing, so you can be confident and ready for whatever the holidays might throw your way. Make this holiday season the best one yet when you unwrap some Christmas magic of your own with a Christmas loan. Relax. Put more joy in your budget with Founders Federal Credit Union. Visit an office near you or foundersfcu.com/magic today. Terms and conditions apply. Membership qualification required.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hosseller-Brown. Did you know Lawyer Lisa offers a prevention plan add-on to our services? If you already have a trust or just need some updates, ask about getting your ducks in a row and getting all of your wishes set out before it's needed. Visit lawyerlisa.com for more information.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Straight Up Sports is simply all sports, all the time. Straight Up Sports is a collection of retired and award-winning sports writers and sports broadcasters from around South Carolina. Like Bob Gillespie from the State Newspaper, Scott Kiefer from the Greenville News, and Mark Sturgis from ESPN Upstate. Straight Up Sports is about the stories, just like the days gone by with no editors nor managers involved. Check us out on Facebook or Twitter or online at straightupsports.net.
Many of South Carolina's top high school seniors meet in one unforgettable showdown in Myrtle Beach. It's the 78th Annual Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Bowl. Hi, I'm Phil Kornbluth. Join me Saturday, December 13th at noon, live on your Sports Talk Media Network affiliate and streaming on all of our social media channels. Don't miss the pride, the passion, and the tradition of the Touchstone Energy Bowl, powered by your local Touchstone Energy Cooperatives. Get your tickets now at touchstoneenergybowl.com. Okay, we're back. It is high school football scoreboard. Gosh, last one of the year. Maybe we'll just do one next week for the heck of it. And we'll just – well, we can't talk about the schedules because we got reclassification going on, right?
We can talk about that.
Reclassification?
Yeah.
Next week? You want to do that? You want to do a special show next week?
Why not?
No, thank you.
I'm not used to being home on Friday night anyway. So.
I think David will pass on that too. Let's go to Paige Wofford. Let's go to Paige Wofford, the Northwestern coach. A little while ago, Chris was down there with the media guys. I'll let you lead into it, Mr. Deering. You can lead up to his initial response. How did you guys lead into it?
Honestly, I think he got lost in the shuffle. There was only me and one guy down there when we started the interview, so some others came up during the course of it. But, again, he was surprised at the margin of victory and, just very complimentary of his team and what they were able to accomplish. And that's sort of what you come to expect out of Paige Wofford, I believe.
All right, here we go. Coach Wofford.
Well, what wasn't working? Offensively, we were moving the ball, going at a fast pace, clipping yards off, running the ball. You look at that defensive line, and that was the absolute studs up there, up front, those front four for them. But our offensive line's pretty good too, I guess. Maybe I don't know how to compare them to other offensive lines we've had in the past, or even other offensive lines in the state of South Carolina in the past. But Coach Cantrell and his staff have done a great job getting those guys playing. They play for each other. They play for their offensive guys. They protect Xavier, and they play for this team, and it was just a pleasure to watch them work tonight. And then defensively, to have the turnovers we had, I think there were 5 or 6 on the night. We had a freshman catch one there at the end maybe. 5 or 6 turnovers on the night. If you can win the turnover battle and then special teams blocking a kick, scoring, we work on that. We talk about Beamer ball. We talk about scoring on offense, scoring on defense. Once again, thanks Coach Beamer for calling me last night, wishing me good luck. No other coach in the state did that, and good luck to Coach Barry and the South Carolina State Bulldogs next week in the Celebration Bowl. Really the pride of the Palmetto State right now with the way they're playing this season. So we're pulling for them to play whoever they play and win that game next week.
Paige, back-to-back championships, first time done in school history. You got 7 overall, but how does it feel to get back-to-back?
I'm in shock right now. I really don't know how it feels. It's like, does it put pressure on to go 3? Yeah, it puts a little pressure on to go 3, but unfortunately, I hate losing more than I like winning. So the fear of losing and that fear every day, of going into that game on Friday and coming away with a bad feeling, having to talk to the kids with that bad look on their face is what motivates me and keeps me going and keeps pushing me to keep going, to try to go to the next level. So we'll see what happens. We're not going out there trying to replace our players every week with with a kid from another school. So we got who we got. We get our fair share of transfers. People want to come to Northwestern High School. They want to come to Rock Hill District 3 because we have a great school district. But, we have who we have. We know who we have, and we try to, through culture and development, we try to make them the best football player and person that they can be.
Coach, Xavier means 6 total touchdowns tonight. Just talk about his performance.
Pretty good player, ain't he? Pretty good quarterback. Maybe I know what I'm doing in that quarterback room. I don't know. Last year was Finley Polk, torching him for 400-something yards and having a great game. And tonight it's Xavier doing it, with his arm and his legs. And he's an excellent football player and a great person. He'll have. I just can't wait to see the kind of opportunities he has, leading into his senior year next year, and the player he is and the team player he is. So he's everything you want from a quarterback and a little bit more. And to be able to follow up Finley Polk, graduating as the school's leading, winning as quarterback, and then to be able to come in and play like he did this season was nothing short of amazing. And Finley's having a great career there at Gardner Webb, and we look forward to seeing what Xavier can do next year.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Surreal. Honestly, surreal. Never in a million years if somebody would have come to me and said, "Hey, Coach, you're going to be up 49-6 at the end of the half. What are you smoking, dude? What's going on there against that team right there with the collection of talent that they have over there and the players they put together and the way they were able to come back from last year and come back to it again. Never in a million years would I would have thought that would have happened. So, I don't. It goes beyond description. You know what I mean? I'd love to hear how y'all describe it. Because I'd probably feel like I can't put it in words. So,
all right, there you go, Paige Wofford. So, how would you describe it, Mr. Deering?
I don't have to write this one, so I don't know. I'm letting the professionals do this one.
Yeah, but in your head, in your mind,
it was domination. I don't think there's any other way to describe it. 49-6 at the half. I think they scored defensively, special teams, offensively. Xavier Means had 6 touchdowns total. again, that's just total domination and a running clock in a state championship game. I mean, I've seen a few in my time, but it hadn't been many.
David, what does this say about Football City up there with Northwestern winning 7 state championships? South Point going to have a good chance to win one tomorrow. Of course, we know Rock Hill High won championships. What does it say about that community?
It says that football is very, very important, and they all kind of they all kind of hate each other, but they feed off each other, and I think that's I think it's a football crazy town, and it's close enough to the North Carolina line that if you're a good player in Charlotte and you're not happy where you are, you can go to one of those schools and have a great career.
I was getting ready to say, David, you look how close they are to Charlotte, and a lot of new industry up there, a lot of new jobs. Indian Land is right there too, and Catawba Ridge, and all those teams all of them are pretty good. So yeah, that's Football City, USA, without question.
So I count 5 state championships for Rock Hill High. 7.
Math is hard.
Beg pardon?
Math is hard for you.
What? That's it for Rock Hill High.
Okay.
I counted 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm counting 5. And
5 sounds right.
7 for Northwestern. That's 12. And off the top of your head, how many for South Point? Anybody happen to know?
I do not.
5.
I can look it up here very quickly.
I think they have 5.
How many state championships for South Point?
Lose on it.
Oh, lose on it. Lose checking it. If lose checking it, then I'm
7.
South Point's got 7. Wow. So that would be 19 state championships in that city. 19 states. So no community in the state touches that. Well,
Gaffney's got what? They have 18, right?
Do they have 18?
I think so. Yeah. Their hashtag was chasing 19, so that makes me believe they have 18.
If you count Dutch Fork and Irmo, and who else around the Columbia's once Spring Valley, the Columbia area might equal that or come close to it. We'll pick up on this after the break and more.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Ron Taylor. The Supreme Court will decide the fate of President Trump's birthright citizenship order.
Trump's order says that children born to parents who are in the U.S. illegally or temporarily are not considered American citizens. The justices will hear Trump's appeal of a lower court ruling that struck down those citizenship restrictions. Birthright citizenship is the first Trump immigration-related policy to reach the Supreme Court for a final ruling. The case will be argued before the Supreme Court in the spring, with a definitive ruling expected by early summer. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
To give baby the shot or not, there's a revised recommendation for the parents of newborns.
A federal vaccine advisory committee is abandoning its long-standing advice that all babies get hepatitis B shots at birth. For decades, the government advised all infants be vaccinated against the liver infection right after birth. Well, now the committee recommends the birth dose only for babies whose mothers test positive. For others, it will be up to the parents and their doctors to decide if a birth dose is appropriate. Rich Thomason, Washington.
A federal judge has given the Justice Department permission to release transcripts of a grand jury investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's abuse of underage girls in Florida. The case ultimately ended without any federal charges being filed against the millionaire sex offender. U.S. District Judge Rodney Smith said Friday that a recent passed federal law ordering the release of records related to the cases overrode the usual rules about grand jury secrecy. When the documents will be released is unknown. Netflix has struck a deal to buy Warner Brothers Discovery and the Hollywood giant behind HBO Max and other channels. The $72 billion deal announced earlier today will bring together 2 of the biggest players in television and film and potentially reshape the entertainment industry. News and analysis at townhall.com.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
FIFA has awarded its new Peace Prize to President Trump.
It's an unusual break from tradition for the sport-focused soccer organization, whose president has become close allies with President Trump. The ceremony took place on Friday during the 2026 World Cup draw at the Kennedy Center in Washington. The FIFA president had said he thought that President Trump should have won the Nobel Prize this year for his efforts to broker a ceasefire in Gaza. Bob Agnew reporting.
The nation's freight railroads are going to be able to try relying more on technology and inspect their tracks less often as the federal government approved their waiver request earlier today. The Association of American Railroads Trade Group asked for the relief from the inspection requirements because railroads believe the automated track inspection technology they use is so good at spotting problems early that human inspections aren't needed as frequently. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Stocks are once again inching closer to...
Hello, this is Stacy Huff, host of Huff Nation Sports Zone, each and every Saturday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here on 100.7 FM, The Point, and also 1470 a.m. It'll be a fun trip around the world of sports. Huff Nation Sports Zone, check it out.
Hi, I'm Tazima. Join me every Saturday at 11 a.m. for Small Business Saturday. We'll celebrate business owners in our community while learning their stories of success and failure. It's Small Business Saturday right here at 100.7 The Point.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com.
It's Friday night in South Carolina, and that means high school football across the Palmetto State. Welcome to the Founders Federal High School Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. We'll bring you scores and reports from every region of the state with expert analysis from David Shelton and interviews with coaches throughout the night. The High School Scoreboard is proudly brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now, from the Scoreboard Studios in Columbia, here's your host, Phil Kornbluth.
Welcome back, everybody. It is hour number 2 of the High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union, our last hour of the 2025 season. We're actually over at South Carolina State. You know, for all the weather, I mean, it was cold. And it was wet, not cold and wet in the press box, but cold and wet out on the field. But the rain let up by the end of the last game, and maybe tomorrow we won't have so much precipitation. But shout out to South Carolina State for doing a great job hosting this thing, and elevators working, so we're happy about that. I think we're the last 3 here. Chris Deering is with me. Lou Bajak is still working away. He'll be joining us in a little bit. We have David Shelton on the line from his studios in Charleston, North Charleston. And before we you wanted to say something about the quarterback at Bamberg Earhart. Share the unbelievable stat that you were telling me.
Yeah, Brian McMillan is the junior quarterback at Bamberg Earhart, and he was on the team last year, but he was a wide receiver. They had Coach Crosby's son as the quarterback last year, and he made – and Coach Crosby told me during the week that he is a quarterback. He was just playing wide receiver last year, and I think he went out and proved it. 47 touchdown passes, 23 rushing touchdowns this year, 70 touchdowns for the year that he accounted for. You know, we were beating around, or what's the record? I think we saw somebody had 73. So very close to the state record for most touchdowns accounted for in a season, and just a great season by Brian McMillan of Bamberg Earhart.
Absolutely. We'll talk about the 3A game, which had more than just on-the-field action. We'll talk about that and hear from Coach LaPrade, the winning coach, in a little bit. Right now, let's welcome in a man who knows a thing or two about winning in these state championship games. It's Coach Scott Early joining us, the executive director of the South Carolina Athletic Coaches Association, and he's preparing to hit the beach next week to begin preparations for the annual Touchstone Energy Cooperative's North-South All-Star Football game, which you'll be able to hear over many of these stations. A week from tomorrow, airtime noon and kickoff at 12:30. But welcome in, Coach, and your thoughts on this first day of, I guess we could call it the Weekend of Champions once again. Your thoughts on the first 3 games here at South Carolina State?
The first one was, I hate to say this, but charter versus public, and charter wins, and then, what happens after is, not pleasant, and, it's going to affect the Shrine Bowl and the North-South. I guess congratulations Oceanside. Then, number 2, I thought when Lamar got off to that good start, and then, 3 gets hurt, and, but it's good to see Bamberg back. I mean, that's a blue blood in our time, so it's good to see. Congrats to Corey and all the things they did. And then tonight was just, I think we saw the best team in all classifications of all football in the state of South Carolina. And tomorrow night we might have 2, from the same, 7 miles apart from the same town. So obviously Joe Montgomery and Jim Ringer are proud because Football USA are back traditionally. So, I thought it was, a great day. I just hate that sometimes great days get tarnished, and I get it, competitive, emotion, adrenaline, enthusiasm, disappointment, having a 15 to 18-year-old kid deal with adversity and anger, and, so I get all that, but I don't think we need to put it on public display.
Go back to something you said a moment ago. You said that might impact the North-South and the Shrine Bowl. In what way? Could penalties be handed out prior to those games?
Well, yeah. Well, when you talk about sanctioned activity with the high school league or sanctioned games, sanctioned all-star games. So, us with the SCHSL, we have 14 sanctioned all-star games for all sports. And then, obviously, you got the Shrine Bowl. That's the oldest. A lot of people don't know this. It's the oldest all-star game in United States history. So that's also sanctioned. And the punishment that will be given down from the high school league affects your next sanctioned event. So we could have up to 4 suspensions, maybe, depending on what the different angles of film say, 3. But yeah, it's going to affect. It's not only going to affect all-star games; it's going to affect high school legacies, and that's the thing that's most disappointing to me.
Yeah, you've obviously. I say obviously. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you've obviously either had some phone calls already or done some research on this.
Well, the people that like to stay behind the scenes and make sure that high school athletics are conducted in a proper manner, yeah, we've been on the phone all night. So yeah, we got some work to do tomorrow, and then Shrine Bowl has a week, but we gotta. I'm leaving to go to the beach, Sunday morning, and we gotta, coming in on Tuesday with no replacements. We got some. We got to wait on some decisions, and then we got to make some decisions.
So, I don't know if anybody except for maybe a couple of players. I don't know how many players have been publicly identified, but what you're saying is, from what you've been told or you've witnessed yourself, some of the players involved here are players who've been selected to these All-Star games who could lose that eligibility for those All-Star games.
Correct. And, the way the high school league rule works is, it's during a live ball game, but that happened after the clock had went zero. So there's different, the leaving the bench rule don't apply because the game's over. So then you're down to video evidence of, for lack of a better term, what is fighting. And the videos that, the high school league and me and different people have watched tonight, it's just something we all need to think about. I think, Russell in his interview said, that's high school football today. And, it's an eye-opening experience. And, I hope tomorrow is, 3 good, clean games. But today was, a great day tarnished by, adolescent emotion. So, it's sad, but it's here, and we got to deal with it. But, congratulations to Oceanside, Bamberg, and Northwestern.
So I was on the field when all this was taking place. I didn't see it start because my back was to the Oceanside side to the BHP side because I was walking over to Oceanside. And as I spun around, I'm just standing back watching. And one thing I will say, I thought the coaches did everything they could to try to get this thing under control as quickly as possible. I mean, I saw coaches everywhere grabbing players, pushing them back. I saw one Oceanside coach, I'm guessing he was a coach, on top of an Oceanside player, literally wrestling him to the ground because he wanted to get up and go. So they were doing their job. The coaches were doing their job as best I can tell. Have you ever been – in your coaching career, were you ever in a situation where you had to get involved in a fight, try to diffuse a fight, anything like that?
Yeah. Not in the state championship because it's a privilege to be there, and all the eyes of your state, your school, and community are on you. And win, lose, or draw, you want to represent yourself in a high character manner. So, yeah.
Now,
back in our day, Howard Cosell, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat has to be handled appropriately on both ends.
Right.
And it was sad to see today that didn't occur, but it's the world we live in. So that, and we don't need to just accept that. We need to be a change agent and try to change it. But
Absolutely.
The coaches did everything they could do to prevent something that never should have occurred. So,
last question from me, then I'll see if David has anything for you. So there was a piece of video.
Hold up. Do I have to talk to David? Because, I'd love to just end with you because me and David kind of butt heads sometimes. Just kidding. David, I know you heard that. Just kidding.
You have to talk to David.
I heard you.
Hey, so David, on a total side note, it looks like in March we're going to get our grant back for Coaches versus Opioids, and you're going to, bounce back and be healthy, and we're going to ride this horse again and see if we can save some lives through athletics.
I'm all about saving some lives.
Yes, sir.
That's good news. So one more question. There's a piece of video, it's about 12 seconds long, and it shows a Oceanside player standing on the sideline facing a BHP player, and they sort of are facing off against one another with the Oceanside player, his arms down by his side, and just sort of looking at the BHP player. I can't tell if he's talking to him or anything. And then the BHP player, both in full uniform and gear, slugs him in the helmet. Have you seen that video? Is that that's kind of where it started? Are you able to read anything into that what might have started this thing? What might have instigated it?
Well, I think that's part of it, but I don't think that started it. I think, and again, it's just from what we've viewed, in my opinion, is that we really don't know what started it. We just know that it wasn't pleasing to high school football fans.
Okay. David, what you got for the coach?
Yeah, I just to be clear, and I'm not writing a story on it or anything. I'm just with the Shrine Bowl. Would they make the decision on suspensions, or would the high school league make that call?
The high school league would make the call, and they're going to make it quickly, pending knowing that we've got a lot to do next week and in the week following. So the high school league will make the definitive decision, and then everybody else will follow suit and do what needs to be done to minimize the distraction or the, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, and then go into the All-Star season.
Yeah, it is a distraction, and just like we're talking about it right now, and I said on Sports Talk, it's a shame, a team just won a third consecutive state title with a junior quarterback that has won 3 titles in 3 years, and we're talking about something that happened, after the clock had expired, and I hate that. I just hate that's the topic of conversation.
Well, I mean, I do too, but it's I mean, I can see where the frustration comes from the side of BHP, but that's not the appropriate way to handle it, and that's tough for adolescent young males, and we're in a different time, and there's different parenting, there's different rules, there's different things that have got involved in what I thought was, or what I still think is the most purest form of athletics in this country. However, sometimes out of something bad comes something good, and I hope that that's what occurs from this, from today's circumstance.
Talking with Coach Scott Early. So let's shift gears very quickly to next week. We always love going to the beach. You guys do such a fantastic job. Touchstone does such a fantastic job in promoting this game and backing and supporting it. And I know the players love being at the beach and everything you guys have laid out. So why don't you I know maybe some years it's the same as it was last year. Maybe there's some adjustments the next year. What do we have this year? Pretty much the same as last year? Have you made some adjustments?
Well, we've actually, I don't know, back when we got involved in this in 2003, our vision and goal was to grow the game, and we continue to try to do that, and we think this year we've got some wrinkles that advances our status in the world of all-star games, because when you travel all over the country and you look at what's happening with all-star games, they're going away, and they're going away basically from this selfish society we live in. I don't know if that's appropriate to say, but hopefully at some point we can get that back under control. But today it is what it is. So we're going to make the best out of it and use the positives to try to, I don't know, teach, inspire, maybe, you just keep sort of pounding the rock in this profession these days, because it's affected by what goes on with everything else. I don't know if I said that right, but yeah, it's a huge concern, but we have a lot of good things going on too. And, in today's social media and, with what goes on, people want to concentrate on the bad, but we got a lot of good things going on in high school football and high school athletics in general, but sometimes we hyper-focus on the bad.
Well, this is true. I mean, it is a world
That's what
where
I love about you most, Phil. You've always been a positive proponent of high school football, and that's what we need more.
Well,
Phil Kornblues.
I believe in high school football. I believe that it does great things for people. I really do. But I'm afraid the infiltration of the transactional side of all sports now is going to seep in to high school football. It may already have in South Carolina in some cases.
It has, and that's what creates some frustration. But we all know that math is the universal language. Whatever language you speak, you understand the numbers. And I hate, it looks like that's what it's coming to, but I'm an eternal optimist, so I think that something really, really good can come out of something minorly bad.
Well,
so,
and of course, one of the really, really good things that happens at the week of the All-Star game at the beach is the trip to Target on Thursday, where the players buddy up with a youngster and takes that youngster shopping throughout Target and spends hundreds of dollars. And if they overspend, if they overspend, Bob Pauling's there to give them cash to make it up. So I know that's always the highlight and enjoyed by everybody. So I know everyone is looking forward to that and the other events you've got planned for this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's the neat thing about, I think, what we do, and, I'd be remiss not to say how much we appreciate the fact that, you've been with us from day one. And I just hope we can – I know we can go to the beach and have a great week and a great time and celebrate the legacy of seniors ending their high school career in a bowl-type atmosphere. So we're good, and everything's good, and I hope tomorrow, those 3 games, we have really good games and clean games, and nobody gets hurt and nobody gets mad, and we end up at the beach where stars shine brighter, and we have a great week, and I hope the Shrine Bowl has a great week. Nobody deserves that kind of week more than Paul Sutherland. So, yeah, so I love the way you change the narrative of the tone to positivity, and that's exactly what needs to be done in all cases.
And I want to, Coach, this is Chris Deering. I want to jump in and give you some praise in that same area.
What's up, Chris? I just want to say what's up, man. I just love talking to the GOAT.
Well, I don't know about that, but again, we appreciate what you do for the sport and doing this All-Star game and putting all you do into the sport. It is greatly appreciated and does not go unnoticed.
Well, we appreciate you too, because you one of them old school guys that's done high school athletics and high school football their justice. So we appreciate it.
We're going to let you hit the sack, and because I know it's way past your bedtime. We do this pretty regularly on Friday nights with you, so appreciate that. We'll see you next week. Looking forward to it. You're not the world's best sideline announcer for nothing, so rest that voice and be ready to roar come next Saturday.
Look forward to the beach, and as we wrap up high school football, just thank you, and birds of a feather of people that really promote and see the good in it. So just
thank you, sir. Thank you. Be right back.
Football season is upon us, and that means Columbia is welcoming fans from around the corner and across the country. No matter where you're from, Gamecocks love coming together for game day energy that can only be found in South Carolina's capital city. Book hotel rooms, find pre- and post-game activities, and plan your tailgate spread with local favorites from pimento cheese to barbecue at experiencecolumbiasc.com. We'll see you soon, and go Gamecocks!
The holiday shopping season is here. Get ahead of the crowd by shopping early and shopping smart with Founders Federal Credit Union. Now through December 31st, take advantage of 5.99% APR on select purchases made with your Founders credit card. Whether you're picking up the hottest toys for the kids or finally grabbing that item you've had your eye on, this offer makes it easier to spend holiday cheer without stretching your budget. Founders is here to help you make the most of the season with smart spending and flexible options. Treat your family and yourself. Save more and make this holiday season one to remember. Visit foundersfcu.com/cc for more information. Membership qualification required. Promotional rate ends July 1st, 2026. Effective APR of 13% to 17.9% will apply. See website for details.
When South Carolina's best high school football players take the field at the Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Bowl, they're backed by a powerful team of their own. As proud title sponsors, your local co-ops celebrate more than just a game. It's a tradition where talent shines, where teamwork matters, and where community spirit takes center stage. Don't miss the 78th Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Bowl, December 13th at Doug Shaw Memorial Stadium in Myrtle Beach, powered by your electric cooperative.
This a 3 minutes?
Yeah, about 2 minutes.
Texas A&M gloves on. Watkins. And
Okay,
Ryan.
we're back. It is High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Short segment here because we went a little long with Coach Early, but that was fine. It's good stuff. Breaking some news. Lou has joined us now, Lou Bajak from the state, so it's good to have you along. And after the break, we'll go a little bit more into the Oceanside win and hear from the coach. But you're just joining us, so you heard a little bit about what Coach Early said about those suspensions. So does that surprise you that they're moving that quickly?
No, I mean, because you kind of have to. I think the last time someone got suspended, I forget who was it the kid from Oceanside in the state championship? He did that thing. He got suspended for the state championship. Then he couldn't play. I think in the shrine. I forget what all-star game he was.
It was North-South game.
It was a North-South. Yeah.
Yep.
So So it was unfortunate the way things happened. It was just weird, and you could see a little bit brewing, but the BA, it was just a little bit out of control. And we'll see if any. I mean, we've seen brawls that people lose their postseason stuff. With the Northwestern and Marlboro years ago, and then when I was in Florence with Wilson and Lake City, so we'll see. They got decisions to be made.
How shocked are you about the way Irmo got handled tonight?
A little bit. I thought Northwestern definitely was a better team, but I thought Irmo would be able to run the ball a little bit and control the clock. And once they started making those mistakes, I mean, Northwestern's just so good, man. Xavier Means has done a great job for stepping in for Finley Polk and Cam Vance and that whole offense and that big their defense. I don't think gets enough credit.
Okay, we're going to hit the break here at the bottom of the hour. When we come back, we've got all four of us together. We got David Shelton, Chris Deering, Lou Bajak, and I'm just here to sit back to listen and learn. That's what I'm here for. So we got a great half hour coming up. We're going to look ahead to tomorrow in great detail. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is Stacy Huff, host of Huff Nation Sports Zone, each and every Saturday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here on 100.7 FM, The Point, and also 1470 a.m. It'll be a fun trip around the world of sports. Huff Nation Sports Zone, check it out.
When I served in Iraq and Afghanistan, my buddies and I would do anything for each other. That's important whether you're in a firefight or fighting to regain your life. When I came home injured, there are people I can count on, like DAV.
DAV, Disabled American Veterans, stands behind America's veterans to make their transition back home easier with free services and help getting the benefits they've earned. Help us fulfill the promise to our men and women who served. Go to DAV.org to learn more.
Answering the call. Running in when everything you feel says run out. Pushing yourself beyond your known limits to help. Living to tell the story. Visit scvolunteerfire.org.
With SRN News, I'm Ron Taylor. The Supreme Court has agreed to take up the constitutionality of President Trump's order on birthright citizenship. The order says children born to parents who are in the United States illegally or temporarily aren't American citizens. The justices said earlier Friday they'll hear his appeal of a lower court ruling that struck down the citizenship restrictions. The president's advisors and Ukrainian officials say they'll meet for a third day of talks later today on Saturday after making progress on finding agreement on a security framework for post-war Ukraine. The two sides also offered a sober assessment that any real progress toward any agreement ultimately will depend on Russia's readiness to show serious commitments to long-term peace. A federal vaccine advisory committee has voted to end the long-standing recommendation that all babies in the U.S. get the hepatitis B vaccine on the day they're born. For decades, the government has advised that babies be vaccinated. This is SRN News.
This is Fran Halloran, the Money Coach. Grow with the point as we build on 10 incredible years of community local radio. We've built an environment where our listeners are our family. Are you a small business with big dreams? Join the tremendous stable of advertising partners at The Point. Connect with Kevin Cohen and brainstorm a tailored strategy to escalate your business growth using the powerful platform of The Point. Call Kev directly at 563-8558. Teaming with The Point, you can make the next year your best year.
This Panther Update is brought to you by UNC Charlotte.
With 4 games to go in the regular season, the Panthers will need as many hands on deck as possible to make a final push for the postseason. One of the key contributors is running back Chuba Hubbard, who is finally feeling back to himself after an early season injury. I'm Jim Zoki with a Panthers Update after this.
Charlotte's momentum has a name, UNC Charlotte. 32,000 students strong, ranked among the nation's top 75 public universities, recognized at the highest level for research, unmatched access to Fortune 500 companies, built for a top-tier city. This isn't typical higher ed. The difference is scale. The difference is momentum. The difference is Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
Running back Chuba Hubbard had a career season in 2024 with just under 1,200 rushing yards, 43 receptions, and 11 total touchdowns, despite missing the final 2 games. This season, he missed a couple of games early with a calf injury. That allowed newly acquired running back Rico Dowdle to step up and put out a pair of 200-yard rushing performances as the lead back. Now, both backs are healthy and had a nearly even split in carries in the last win over the Rams. Hubbard had 83 yards rushing versus L.A., says he now feels like he is back to full health.
I feel where I'm like 30%, 40%, but I just told myself if I can play football, no matter how that is, I'm going to go out there and do that. So that's kind of my thought process when it came to that. Last week was probably my first time feeling like kind of myself again. Able to get the ball a couple of times, and this week I'm starting to feel good as well. So just going to keep trying to get back to 100% and getting back to me.
This season, Chuba Hubbard's got 433 yards rushing along with a touchdown and 23 receptions with 3 touchdowns. I'm Jim Zoki on the Carolina Panthers Radio Network.
This Panther Update has been brought to you by UNC Charlotte, ranked among the nation's top 75 public universities. The difference is Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
All right, we're turning the corner and heading for home. Last half hour, the high school football scoreboard brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Let's talk about the game, 3A championship game. First game of the day did not end the way anybody wanted to see it end. I think the media, I was watching those of us in the media, we were kind of walking around like stunned a little bit. I mean, I didn't have my phone with me. Lou, you had yours. You got some great video. But it was like, what's going on here? And this is just sort of sad that this thing is ending this way with this sort of stuff. As for the game, Oceanside Collegiate 28-7, and they had BHP shut out until the last few minutes. I mean, they dominated David Shelton. They dominated them. They finished with 329 yards to 204, and a lot of those yards for BHP came late. 7 of 12 on third down to 1 of 12. And the quarterback, Monavian, his third championship with his third different head coach, and 152 yards passing and a touchdown. And he rushed for 43 yards. Zaki Muncie, 19 rushes for 89 yards. Noah Thomas for BHP, 9 of 25, an interception, 122 yards and a touchdown. And Tajay Watson-Martin had 6 catches for 107 yards and a touchdown. So, David, what do you think of what Coach Early said, though? He cited the charter school thing here versus the public, well, not public school. I guess they're all public schools, but charter school versus non-charter school thing, kind of lighting that fire again that the charter schools still have an advantage over schools. Have we not erased that advantage, or is it still an advantage as you see it?
Well, I think it goes on an individual basis. I mean, if Oceanside played Northwestern or played South Point, well, you probably can't use South Point because they do get a little bit over the border kids. But if they played Northwestern, nobody would be talking about Oceanside being a charter school. So I think when they win, it comes up. When they beat Dutch Fork earlier in the year, that everybody seems to forget, that came up. But I mean, look at their roster. I mean, they don't have. They had an App State signee, a Wofford signee, and I mean, some of their best players from last year aren't even playing college football. They're just going to school and enjoying college life. So it's not like they got a roster full of. I'll put it to you this way: Irmo and Northwestern have more Division I prospects than Oceanside does. Period. End of story. I've seen them all. I know now. The quarterback is going to probably play Group of 5 football. I hear Coastal maybe, but they got a coaching change, so who knows? But he's not going to a Power 4 school. He's 5'11", 160 pounds. Now he's really good, but I don't even think about. I don't even think James Allen is a quote unquote charter school, and Somerville beat them by 30. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. Gray Collegiate is a charter school, and South Florence beat them like a drum. So again, it's when the charter schools win a game like this, people want to bring it up, but when they get their butts cut, then they don't. It don't come up. Irmo beat Oceanside first game of the year, and we saw a totally different Irmo team tonight.
Ooh.
So I don't. I guess some people bring it up. I don't. I just say play the games, and whoever scores the most points is the winner.
All right, let's hear from the coach from Oceanside Collegiate. In his first year as the head coach, he'd been the defensive coordinator previously before becoming the head coach. Third head coach in 3 years and 3 state championships. That says something about the organization and the overall program as well. But he's obviously Coach LaPrade. Brent LaPrade comes from an athletic family, a coaching family. His dad won multiple state championships at Fort Dorchester, had a powerhouse program at Fort Dorchester, and we see what's happened there since he retired. So here he is, moments after everything. Now, we all went down there to do the normal thing, which is they would do the handshake line, and then typically that's when we get to the coach and surround him and do the post-game interview with the winning coach first, while the losing side is receiving their awards. And so this was a little bit after the fact of the game being over and the incident being over. And then Oceanside Collegiate walked all the way down into one corner of the field. Remember that, Chris? They went all the way down in that corner, far corner of the field, like they were going to leave. I think they just gathered up for a moment, and then they came back out in front of their fans to do the presentation. And BHP was doing whatever they were doing on the other side. So after all that is when we got a chance to catch up as a group with Coach Brent LaPrade, the head coach at Oceanside Collegiate. Here is what he had to say.
I thought, everybody talked about offense, but defense really was the story today.
Yeah, defense played their butts off. They've had a chip on their shoulder all year. In the paper, you hear about the offense on TV and all. And those guys want to prove they can play ball too. And, man, throughout the playoffs, it's unreal. I think they gave up 24 points in 5 games. They played really good. It's a special group. And our defensive coordinator, Rashad Smith, he's a good one. He's my first hire. When I got the job, that's the first phone call I made. And he's special, and these kids are really good. They work so hard. They deserved that 7 points on the score, but they deserved 0. But they let up a little bit at the end. But they're a great group of kids, and they got good parents. That's why we win. Our parents are great, and that's what's special around here. It's the parents.
Is it different winning as a head coach as opposed to a coordinator?
Yeah, you get a lot colder apparently. I'm shivering, but yeah, it's all the same. All the credit goes to my staff. They work their butts off. They get these kids ready to play, and they're a special group.
What happened after the game?
After the game, their fans were chirping. They had 3 players hitting our coaches, hitting our players. It's all on film. They'll have a lot of suspensions. It was bad. And you can't do that. Everybody hates losing. When you lose, you need to take it like a man and move on.
For the game, if the weather had been like this, I think most people would have thought maybe it would have held you guys back, but it didn't seem to.
Yeah, it didn't seem to. They're lucky it was a wet day. We felt like we had a lot of advantage in the passing game today, but it's good. We don't worry about what we can't control. Just find a way to win. That's what our kids do. It's a resilient bunch I got.
Repeat for your quarterback.
Yeah, he's special, Hopefully he can get 4. We talked about it. I told him if he got 3, he gets a desk in my office. I guess I'm going to have to share the office now. I got a coach at quarterback now.
Okay, gets a desk in the office. David, what'd you make of what Coach LaPratt had to say there about the game and the incident?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that's really all he could say. I mean, he mentioned the defense. They were great today. They've been really good through the playoffs. I mean, they gave Loris, who was averaging 50 points a game, they gave them 1 score. They beat Dillon 42-0, which I don't know if Dillon's ever been beat in the playoff game that bad. They gave up 1 touchdown to Marlboro County, which was a pretty good offense. I mean, and they beat Dutch Fort, held them to 20 points, which is, I guess, the lowest that Dutch Fort scored. So, their defense was underrated, but very solid. And again, I go back to, they got 2 linemen that are going to college, but I mean, they had new linebackers. They had several new guys in the secondary. And we're not talking about, 6'3", 205 safeties. So, but they were the better team today, and I thought they were the better team going in. And I think he said it. If it's a dry day and good weather conditions, they would have scored 50 points. Because I've seen that passing game. They have 5 receivers with at least 25 catches. They spread that ball around, and 2 and 88 are the big dogs, but they got 3 other guys that were all underclassmen that'll be back next year.
So look for them, count on them to be right back in it again next year, and going for 4 in a row. I mean, no reason to think otherwise for these guys.
Yeah, it just depends on where they're realigned. If they stay in 3A, if they bump them to 4A, if they go back to 2A. I mean, there's a lot of things that got to be answered, but they're going to be very good again.
All right, let's go to our last break, and when we come back, we'll turn our attention to tomorrow. We got 3 games beginning at noon, and weather's supposed to be maybe a little bit better. Weather next week at the beach, sunshine, temperatures in the 60s, except on game day Saturday, sunshine, but the highs projected at 49, which isn't bad football weather, but no rain is what they're saying for next week. A lot of sunshine, good temperatures, and no rain. So looking forward to that next week. Back in just a moment.
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love, and you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
Life insurance isn't for you. It's for those you love the most. For a complete insurance review, call Buddy Bridges in Lawrence County at 864-923-2174, serving Lawrence, Clinton, and the shores of Lake Greenwood.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
Shop for the holidays smarter this year with Founders Federal Credit Union. Now through December 31st, take advantage of 5.99% APR on select purchases made with your Founders credit card. Spread more holiday cheer this year without breaking your budget. Visit foundersfcu.com/cc for more information. Membership qualification required. Promotional rate ends July 1st, 2026. Effective APR of 13.00 to 17.90% will apply. See website for details.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hosteller-Brown. Did you know your will is designed for your assets to pass through the probate court? If you want to keep your loved ones out of court, a revocable trust is a great place to start. Visit lawyerlisa.com for more information and to see how we can help.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at sccattle.org. Beef. It's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff Program.
Crying out loud. Crying out loud.
I think
Enough.
I think we have to run this in repeat. Hang on just a second.
Enough of the Gators. Lou has left us temporarily without our permission. So
He just got up and left. It was sort of rude.
Just got up and took off. He had something important to do. That's okay. That's fine. We got the three of us to chop it up for tomorrow. So David Shelton's with us. Chris Deering is here. So guys, let's talk about what we're looking at tomorrow in the state championships beginning at noon. David, South Point and South Florence, 12 o'clock. Again, on paper, this looks like a beautiful matchup. Will we see a beautiful game between these two? And by that, I mean something competitive and down to the wire.
Yeah, I mean, these you could argue these two teams are as good as any team in the state. I hope we see that tomorrow. I hope the weather's good to where both teams can do what they do best. I like South Point to win the game, and I was watching Northwestern tonight, and South Point beat that team that we just saw score 55 points in the state championship game. So, but South Florence, they beat Summerville. Summerville's in the finals. So, but I just feel like South Point is the better team overall, but it's going to be close. I think it'll come down to the wire. South Florence tends to play those type games, so they'll have something for them offensively. But South Point is really, really good.
Chris Deering, what do you think? South Point, South Florence, which way are you leaning?
I'm going to have to go just like David did. I picked South Point in our prep red zone picks this week. And, David, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Northwestern go to South Florence and beat them early in the season? I mean, I thought they beat them pretty soundly.
They scored 55 points on them, yeah.
Yeah. So, I have called this the marquee matchup of the weekend. Just on paper, like you said, it should be a good game. So I hope we get a close one before it's all said and done. And I take the 12 o'clock one tomorrow to kick it off, and let's be a close one and make everybody. I always say in almost every game I go to, make me care in the fourth quarter, and let's make me care in the fourth quarter tomorrow.
That would be nice after what we went through tonight. All right, David, let's go to the 4 o'clock game. That's the two-way game. That's Strom-Thurmond against Hampton County. Now, Strom-Thurmond, a team that we're used to seeing win championships going back a few years. Been a little while for them, but now they're back. And here's Hampton County. Hampton County showing up. First time for them as the newly consolidated school there last couple of years down in Hampton County. And they have played some exciting football this year. How do you see this one?
Yeah, I like Hampton County because they run the football exceptionally well. Singleton, the running back, is it Singleton or Singletary?
Singletary.
Singletary.
Yeah.
He's close to 2,500 yards. I will say this: Strom-Thurmond's defense is as good, if not better, than any defense Hampton County has seen in the playoffs. So if Strom-Thurmond can control that running game and maybe get ahead and make Hampton County start throwing it, then I like Strom-Thurmond. But I would probably lean towards Hampton County. But I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a close game.
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah.
You get two Berkeley County boys on this show, Phil, and we sort of think alike. I have to go with Hampton County as well. Singletary has been on an absolute tear, probably the last 10 or 12 weeks of the season. Started out a little slow, but like David said, 2,500 yards. I think he's got a streak of 12 straight games of 2 or more touchdowns. I think he's got 45 rushing touchdowns on the season. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play. I've not seen Strom-Thurmond, but I do know that's a really good defense. So it'll be interesting to see what Hampton County can do against them.
Lee Sawyer was their coach when they last won a championship back in 2005. They've won 2 championships, but a whole bunch of region championships. Lou has rejoined us. Thank you for rejoining us.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I understand when you have to run to the bathroom. I get that. It happens at your age. Who do you like in this one? Then we'll let you go back and talk about South Point and South Florence.
Yeah, I like Hampton County, and like I said, the running game probably is going to be a quick game. I don't think there'll be a lot of passing, a lot of good defense. I think both communities will be here representing. I think it's a big moment for both, and it should be a fun game. Looking like the rain might be the heaviest during that game. So running game, I mean, that probably will help the running game. They're not going to throw the ball a lot anyway, so I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, and let's back up for a moment and let you give us your thoughts on Bruins and Stallions.
I'm going on Stallions for sure. I think Javion Currents, he's on a mission. They're on a mission. Won the Gatorade Player of the Year today. I think he's just so dynamic. He can throw it. He can run it. Defensively, he can hit. I saw him earlier against Flora. I mean, he made a couple hits defensively.
Had a big interception in that game.
Yeah,
too.
Big interception. And that defensive line, I love Seth Tillman, watching him play and gun. They got it all. I think South Florence is good, though. I don't think I love their quarterback in Messiah Jackson, but we'll see if they were able to have enough firepower to keep up with South Point.
Okay, that takes us to the last game of the season. 5A Division I, 7:30, Dutch Fork and Somerville. I got the 3 best people to break this down because David's down there at Somerville. Chris has Somerville ties, or that area ties, but you're also both up here covering Dutch Fork. And, you worship at the altar of one Tom Knott. So I got the perfect people to break this down. Go ahead, David. What do you think?
I think this comes down to Somerville's offensive line against Dutch Fork's defensive front. Because Somerville has not given up a lot of sacks, their passing game, the quarterback gets rid of the ball quick, so that will help. But they got a really good tailback, and if he can get a little crease and get some openings, and the quarterback doesn't turn the ball over, Somerville's got receivers that are very difficult to cover. They got more than one. They got 3 really solid wide receivers. But it's going to come down to their offensive line against that defensive front, and if Dutch Fork's able to get pressure on that quarterback, and if they take away the run, I think Dutch Fork's going to win the game. And but Dutch Fork offensively is not as potent as they have been in years past, but they score enough and let that defense carry them home. So, it'll come down to whether Somerville can block them.
All right, Chris Deering. So you're going with Dutch Fork. Chris Deering, what do you think?
Well, one thing, I'm never going to bet against Tom Knotts in the playoffs. I'm just not going to do it. His track record is too good. But I will say I'm picking Dutch Fork, but I think this Somerville team has a better chance than they had last year to beat Dutch Fork. Like David touched on, the offense is not quite as explosive for the Silver Foxes this year. I think Somerville might be able to move the football against them. Like I said, they got some dynamic playmakers at running back and at wide receiver. So I think this is going to be a close game as well. Again, you look at it on paper, everything you see is leading to a close game. And I just don't know, coaching, it might come down to coaching. And again, Tom Knotts in November or December, don't bet against that guy. He's proven it over and over and over. He's going for, what is it, Lewis, 10th straight state championship?
Well, it's 10th overall.
Yeah,
It would tie McKissick and Willie Varner for most, and I think 17th or 18th overall because he won 7. And then, they're in their 10th championship in a row. What they're doing is historic, and it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I think they don't have that go-to dynamic break. Stone Fury, he's pretty good on the deep ball, but there's no Jalen Hyatt, there's no Bryce Thompson, a game breaker. They're more workmanlike. They got a running back committee with Sheldon Shine and Quentin Wilson. Kyle Henry's in there too, but I think he's banged up. But I think it come down to their defense. Can they put pressure? Like I said, this Somerville team doesn't throw it as much as the last year's team, and that's what I think one of the weaknesses of Dutch Fork is their secondary. So we'll see if Somerville tries to attack that secondary maybe with some short passes early on to try to open up that running game.
Are you hinting upset?
No.
Oh. No. So you're going Dutch Fork. You're going Dutch Fork. You know what? Somebody's got to pick Somerville. Give me the green wave. All right?
Why?
Because you know why? They have a G on their hats and for green.
I think they have an S on their
hats. They have a G for green, like Green Bay. I don't know. Give me Somerville. Somebody's got to pick Somerville. I'll pick Somerville in honor of Coach McKissick because Coach McKissick doesn't want to be caught, okay? So Coach McKissick is not going to let this happen. With that, fellas, thank you so much. Thank you, David Shelton. It's been a great season. Thank you, Plummer. Thanks to all our stations, our sponsors, founders, and for all of you for tuning in every Friday night. Have a great weekend.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107.